Hello everybody, finally remember I promised you to have a podcast with different dentists and specialists and try to talk about what does preventive dentistry means in our eyes and why it's so important for us that everyone, as much people that we can reach, to try to influence in your minds that the mouth is the first part where the food comes in, and if we don't have a good dentition, we're not going to have a good digestion. Therefore, our life is not going to be as fun. It's not only about the smile, but it's about function of your mouth in general for your general body. So we have today Dr. Diana Zschaschel, who all of you saw the episode before where she's an expert in patient with special needs. She sees plenty patients of autism, we talk cerebral palsy, you name it, any mental disease that needs to be under control for special needs. Dr. Zschaschel is one of the few in the country that is dedicated her practice to this exclusive type of patients, between many other restorative treatments she does. And Dr. Frank Vidjak is a prosthodontics, and if you remember from one of the episodes in implants he was a director of the prosthodontic program, and now he's dedicated to prosthodontic dentistry, which is prosthetic dentistry, which is the same, as high maintenance cases for restoring the mouth of patients. So I wanted to start asking Dr. Diana Zschaschel, what do you think about preventive dentistry? I don't know if you know about it, but since you're from UCLA, 3 degrees from the school, I have not seen a better program than UCLA, where they teach now the mothers to, how to prevent cavities. I think they give fluoride, whatever they do, so the kid when he's born is gonna have, fluorapatite instead of hydroxyapatite. So the education in preventive dentistry has been massive, working really good in UCLA. And I wanted to ask you, why is so important for us preventive dentistry?
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me. You and I share the same love of preventive dentistry and dentistry in general, and helping people in the community. I think dentists have it right, that more than the physicians do. Mm-hmm. We're about preventative care. We're not treating, we do treat disease, but we are really into preventing disease from happening. And and Dr. Vidjak and I, we all know that the Surgeon General has come out and said, if you don't have good dental health, you don't have good health. And so where does the health start?
Yeah.
It starts in preventative health, preventative dental care. So, of course, I'm a big proponent of preventative dental care, and it's the first thing that I talk about with patients is how are they brushing their teeth? How are they flossing their teeth? What are they doing to do preventative things, even with their diet? What are they doing that's going to prevent them from getting the bacteria that is going to cause cavities to proliferate in their mouth?
There is, I think, you both know, I told you I was not going to ask you, but just going to mention about the new system that they use in America that is called CAMBRA, was developed by Dr. Ramos Gomez and Dr. Featherstone and a couple of others in San Francisco. And now Ramos Gomez is a UCLA director of the pediatric specialty, and he was my classmate at dental school, so we know each other for a long time. And they apply this CAMBRA, which is the caries assessment risk. So, in other words, when I went to read about it, as an endodontist, I tell the patients when they have more than one cavity in a certain amount of time, they start considered like low risk, medium risk, high risk, and then supposedly you have to treat them accordingly, correct? Something like that. Or something to change.
So I so enjoy this opportunity, and we're living proof that UCLA and USC can coexist in peace. You see? And it's
true.
not just on camera, it's in normal life.
Normal circumstances.
I'm trying to chip that block away that everybody
Yes.
thinks there's this animosity.
Yes.
Because in all seriousness, there's, you know, the effort being made to improve health, and you said it so well. The whole idea, and dentistry's always been that way, and it's been unfortunate that there's been a disconnect between medicine and dentistry, thinking that each one had its own domain, but we're talking about a person.
Correct.
Teeth are connected to somebody.
Yes.
And it's underestimated that the digestive system, the health of the entire body, starts with the mouth.
Correct.
The ability to chew, the ability to begin the process of breaking down the food begins in the mouth.
Correct.
Saliva has all these components, the enzymes, everything that goes with it to help the stomach digest. We're not carnivores out in the field where it's a matter of survival. You hit and run. You catch your prey, you eat what you can, and then you worry about digestion later. We're beyond that. We eat everything, vegetable matter and all that. And if you can't get it into little pieces inside of you first, you cannot have a healthy system. But here's why, when I was listening, and this is why it's great, we technically have broken down dentistry into categories, like specialties. Okay, and you have orthodontics, endodontists, periodontists, prosthodontists. There's 12 of them now in dentistry, but what I loved listening to is that we're still one profession. And the issue is, what do we deal with on a day-to-day basis? You happen to begin forming those habits, identifying issues very early in a person's life.
Correct.
The nature of your practice is that way. Whereas in my specialty, fine, there are certain developmental conditions that I'll see, and through family members I will potentially see younger, meaning pre-teens and teens. But that's not normally where I start.
Right.
I typically fall into people that already have habits that are formed, and not all these habits are good.
Right.
So we know how it is to try to break habits, and especially when they're bad, like quote unquote bad.
Correct.
It's major work because it takes commitment on that person to make the change. I can only do so much. We can only do so much when we're in the office.
It's like
So-
quitting smoking, right?
Exactly
Quitting
right.
smoking, quitting grinding one's teeth. Those are pretty.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. This would be, I think, interesting for everybody here, because I try to communicate this to parents. I try to communicate it to everybody, even for themselves, to reflect and see if they remember or if their parents ever mentioned something. But what is the feedback and reaction if you see signs of early onset of clenching, grinding?
I don't do it.
Yeah.
They say I don't do it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But it's the proof, we have the proof. We see it in radiographs. We see it radiographically. We see it visually. We see it through the cracks in the teeth. We see it through the muscles of mastication, the enlargement of the muscles of mastication. Through there's signs like headaches. They claim they don't sleep well. I can't tell you how many patients said that they had a full night's sleep after I finally gave them up. After they finally approved of getting a guard, that they're like, I slept for the full night. I haven't slept a whole night and I don't know how long. I'm like, they didn't realize they were clenching and grinding.
They don't understand. I said you can have the best crown of the West, you can have the best root canal or the best implant. If you're grinding, constantly your teeth or clenching, you're gonna destroy them in any moment.
Yeah, I think what people underestimate, and because of the nature of a lot of the situations that people bring to me in the practice, these have been conditions developing over years. Including decades.
Yeah.
And what is fascinating is, like you said, most of them are in denial.
Yeah.
But then you see the signs. Like you mentioned, the wear of the teeth, various patterns, the muscles.
Show here.
But here's what's really amazing, and I did it as recent as today, because I noticed and staying attuned to patients, right? Because they evolve. They may not have had at one point in their life
And
issues.
they could have had stressors in their life that created more of the clenching. Over
Loss
time.
of a family
Loss
member,
of-
a job problem. And today I happen to see a great young man that I've been seeing for quite a while, but I noticed changes where in his teeth. And I asked him, I said, are you sleeping well? He goes, how did you ask me about that by looking at my teeth? I said, because the pattern looks changed.
Right.
Wow.
And
I
he
never
looked
thought
at me,
about
he
it.
goes, I never connected it to. I said, well, guess what? Just like you made reference earlier about how the system is one, oral health is directly related to the overall health of the individual, systemically. And I said, well, that's been going on for quite a number of years, and I've had physicians where I took the articles that first showed the trend, the connection. Early on, it was a CDA journal article. And I said, what do you think about this? Literally 2 seconds. And I'm just mentioning this about one individual. I'm not saying that physicians are all like this.
Yeah.
They're not. But this one individual gave it a 2-second look at the title and said, oh, and then tossed it aside. But that was then.
Yeah.
Now, thank God, we're both seeing patients sent to us because blood pressure has not been able to be regulated. It spikes, it drops, medication dosages. These physicians are at odds at the end of the line for themselves. They don't understand how are they going to regulate this patient. But thank God it's becoming accepted.
Disability?
Well, the systemic effect of oral diseases,
Yeah.
the connection,
Yeah.
whether it's apical problems, that means root canal related problems, periodontal disease, so
We
problem
talk
with the
about-
gums and the
Yeah.
associated bone. And you will see referrals from physicians, get your teeth checked because you may have some sort of disease that's causing this problem
Right.
and us be able to regulate you. Now, that was that issue a few years ago. But the latest connection where so much investment is being made by our government, National Institute of Health, into getting more of a firm connection of sleep disorders, and we'll call them parafunctional habits, bruxism, clenching, grinding, the muscle pain associated with it, and the inability to get proper rest.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Because
was going to
it
really.
Yeah.
interferes with that.
Right.
And it's amazing, and that's why today, as recent as today, I'm constantly saying, get a sleep study.
Yeah, so I want to expand on
Yeah.
that because I think that it's just, I think the general public really should hear this because this is
Yeah.
really important.
Yeah.
So myself, who is educated in this, I decided to get a sleep study and I got a little headset that,
Then you have to wear it on during the
I
night.
just wear it at night. It's not the big studies that you go to a lab because I
Yeah.
don't
They
sleep in
get
those.
wired.
Yeah.
They get wired. No, I got a small one that I put in my head, and I got it analyzed. And this is for myself. I woke up 34 times, micro waking from clenching at my teeth.
Oh my, well,
34 times.